So class, actually this model is the answer of all those limitations which are actually left in the Rutherford model. In Rutherford model, we are not able to discuss about the electronic distribution, the energy of electron, the stability of electron, and some many more questions was arises there. So let's discuss about the answers of the different questions arises in that model, Rutherford model. So boards actually discuss about the different types of spectrum basis, spectrum based, you can say spectrum based model. Actually, he discussed about the different amount of energy released and absorbed when electrons is transmitted from the level up to down or down to up. So let's first discuss about the different postulates given in the model. The first thing is, around the nucleus there are infinite orbits, circular orbits possible where electrons can be permitted. All circular orbits where electrons are permitted is known as stationary states, also known as shell or orbits. Stationary states. This word stand here, the energy has been confirmed or constant during the movement of electron around the nucleus. During the movement of electron around the nucleus. So first postulate is actually about there are infinite orbits possible around the nucleus where electrons can be permitted, but electrons permitted in the sum of the orbits only. Those are known as stationary orbits or shell, which is indicated by principal quantum number. So we'll discuss about the principal quantum number later after this topic. The second postulate is about how we can know that in which orbits electron will be permitted. For that, he suggested all those orbits having angular momentum equal to integral value of h upon 2 pi out of infinite orbits, all those orbits having angular momentum equal to integral value, the n is integer here, integral value of h upon 2 pi, only those orbits having electrons permission. The electrons are only permitted in those circular orbits in which the angular momentum is the integral value of h upon 2 pi. That is the second orbits. That is the second postulate. About the third postulate is about until unless the electron will remain in the orbit, there will be no consumption of energy by the electron. The energy is constant for any given particular orbit, that is called stationary orbit. An electron will not utilize any amount of energy during the movement of in a given particular circular orbit. The energy absorbed or emitted only when the electron jump from one level to the another level. This is called the quantization of the angular momentum, also known as quantization of energy. The fixed discrete amount of energy absorbed by the electron when electron jump from the one level to the another level. This can be learned according to this picture. Suppose this is a nucleus and there are many circular orbits are possible. You can see in between these orbits, the electrons are not permitted. Electrons are only permitted in those orbits having angular momentum equal to integral value of h upon 2 pi. That is the calculated value given by Mr. Bose. Suppose electron is here in the first orbit and want to jump in the second or third or fourth or fifth. So when electron jump from one orbit to the another orbit, only then will absorb the amount of energy in the form of quanta. In the form of quanta, we learned from the Planck's theory. The value is h nu. The frequency value, the frequency of radiation will depend upon the amount of energy absorbed by the electron, and that is called excitation of electron. That is called excitation of electron, and the orbits known as excited state, as the Mr. Anubed said. So electron excited when absorb energy in the form of quanta, but until unless electron will remain in the orbit, there will be no emission or absorption of energy. There will be no emission or absorption of energy. That will be remain constant until unless electron will remain in the orbit. The energy will only absorb or only emit when electron jump from this orbit to this orbit, or any from higher to the lower. Suppose electron is here. Electron is here, so it will be converted. So when electron return to the lower orbits, can emit energy. When electron jump from the lower to higher, can absorb energy. And that value is equal to the, suppose the difference of the two different stationary orbit, the energy difference of the two different stationary orbit will be equal to the delta E, which is equal to the h nu. According to the Planck's theory, the value of energy difference will be h nu, and the frequency will depend upon the amount of energy absorbed or emitted. So you can guess, you can make a sense that when electron jump from the first to the second, there will be different frequency. When jump from first to third, there will be different frequency. First to fourth, so frequency will be different because energy difference is different. So energy value will decide the frequency of radiation or wavelength of radiation absorbed by the electron or emitted by the electron. That will depend upon the gap. So electrons are stable in their orbits because they are not absorbed or emit energy until unless remain in the orbit. And that's why this is called a stationary orbit. Electron fully enjoyed the energy of the orbit, but not absorbed, not emit. Absorption and emission only when the electron jump from the one level to the another level. That was the conversation and confirmation about the thing when Rutherford is unable to explain the stability of electron in the terms of energy. Students, energy, Maxwell theory that was explained, there must be emission of energy by the electron. Electron should be go through a spiral and jump in the nucleus. This is not done because there was actually the electron not emitted energy. Bohr said electron not emitted energy, not absorbed energy until unless will jump from one level to the another level. That is all about the confirmations of all those problems arises in the previous models. Now the question is, what amount of energy possessed by electron in a given orbit? What is the radius of electron from the nucleus? And if electron jump from one level to the another level, the radiation emitted, so what will be the radiation frequency or wavelength, or what will be the spectrum value? So we have to be discuss about the energy value. We have to be discuss about the energy value of electron in any given orbit. But be a mind, this is all about only a hydrogen atom. We are having a different elements, but the Bohr's model is only and strictly based for hydrogen atoms or hydrogen-like species. Means this theory and this model is for when the atom having one electron only. If the atom has more than one electron, if the atom has more than one electron, this model will not be applicable. So this model is only strictly applicable for this hydrogen atom or hydrogen-like species. The energy value for any orbit, you understand here orbit E1, E2, E3, E4, other value, the energy value for any orbit, that is actually minus 1312 n square kilojoule per mole. I think the value is exactly yes, kilojoule per mole. This is the value of energy of any given orbit of hydrogen. Any given orbit of hydrogen. Listen one more thing, students. I am writing here the value in the terms of kilojoule per mole. You can write in the terms of electron volt, in the terms of joule per atom. You can make a value in any terms. Just learn only what is the value. You have to be learn any one of them, and you can convert them from electron volt to kilojoule or joule to kilojoule to joule, mole to per atom. It's your wish, but generally value is the energy value is always calculated in the terms of kilojoule per mole, and you are knowing the value of mole. If you wish to calculate in the terms of per atom, just convert the mole value by atom 6.022 to 10 to the power 23. That will be into the atoms. Kilojoule means 10 to the power minus 3 joule, 10 to the power 3 joule, sorry, 10 to the power 3 joules. And what is the value of electron volt? Anyone? What is the value of electron volt in joule? What is the value of electron volt in joule? Actually, the charge of electron is called the joule energy carried by electron. So that value will be 1.6 10 to the power minus 19 joule. This is the value of charge of electron. The same value in joule is equal to the electron volt. Electron volt means the potential of electron that is carried by the given electron in a free state. And that can be indicated in the terms of joule. The same value, the same charge value. You can see the same charge value. 1.6 10 to the power minus 19, and very good, Anuved. So you can convert this value into a electron volt. You can convert this value into a joule per atom. This is your wish. Just learn one value, minus 1312 upon n square. This is very easy to learn actually. 1312 upon n square. This is for any orbit. If you wish to calculate the energy of second orbit, so this value will be E2 equal to minus 1312 upon 2 square. 2 square. So you can calculate energy of any orbit for hydrogen atom only. Just be a mind for hydrogen atom only. If you have any hydrogen-like species like helium plus. Helium plus means the atom has only one electron. Lithium plus means the atom has only one electron. So whenever the atom has only one electron, you can use the same formula by multiplying the atomic number, the square of atomic number, and the formula will be kilojoule per mole. The value will be kilojoule per mole, 1312 Z square upon N square, where Z is atomic number, where Z is the atomic number. Helium atomic number 2, lithium atomic number 3, lithium plus plus, that should be lithium plus plus. So Z square upon N square. So according to the boards, the calculated energy value for any given orbit for hydrogen atom or hydrogen like atom, the value will be minus 1312 Z square upon N square. Z square upon N square. And let's discuss why the energy value is negative. Let's discuss why the energy value is negative. That is a very interesting question, students. Negative value is actually a reference value. The negative value is always a reference value. Actually, we calculated energy from infinity to the nucleus. The direction of the calculation of energy is from infinity to the nucleus. The energy value of any electron at infinity is 0, the big 0. The energy value at infinity is 0. Just first see this. Energy value at infinity is 0 because there is no any force of attraction arises or experienced by electron from the nucleus. When there is no force of attraction, no energy possessed by the particle. No energy possessed by the particle. Just mind it. Energy possessed by the electron is because of the force of attraction of the nucleus, which is in the orbit. Until unless electron will be in orbit, the electron will experience energy and will have some amount of energy. But when electrons away from the nucleus and will occupy at the infinity position, infinity means there is no energy. There is no force from the nucleus. There is no force from the nucleus. That time the electron will have a 0 energy. So with respect to the 0, when we move towards the nucleus, the value of energy should be in a negative terms because we are coming from the infinity to the nucleus. We are coming from the infinity to the nucleus. You can see this is a nucleus. First orbit must have a lowest value of energy. Lowest value of energy. In the terms of negative, that will be in actually highest. First, just compare it. First, just compare it without sign. The sign convention is explained on the basis of infinity, but just for a few moments, just ignore the sign convention and first look at the value. When electron will be a nearest position to the nucleus, the energy value will be a lowest. Energy value will be lowest. As electron going away from the nucleus, energy value will be a greater and greater. Energy value will be a greater and greater. And the maximum value will be when electron will not experience the force of attraction by the nucleus. That is called a 0 value. So maximum energy for our electron will be 0. Maximum energy for the electron will be 0 when electron will not experience any force. So as compared to the 0, the energy value always should be a negative. The sign convention, because we are actually comparing the energy from infinity to the nucleus. From infinity to the nucleus. The energy of proton is because of the nuclear power, the nuclear energy. This is another thing. We are actually comparing the energy between the force of attraction. We are comparing the energy because of the nucleus and electron, because of the nucleus and orbit. In proton and neutron, the energy is because of some nuclear power which is inside the nucleus only, that will not relate with the electron and orbit. That energy is inbuilt in the nucleus called nuclear energy. That is another thing. But energy possessed by electron or orbit is because of the force of attraction arises by nucleus. So when there will be no force of attraction, the energy will be a maximum value called zero value. And with compared to zero, the value of energy should be in negative terms. That's why the formula carry negative sign. This is the actually you can say conventional form. The formula is in a conventional form. So negative sign is only a comparing of a energy value from infinity towards nucleus. That is in it. Next thing is, what is the radius of the electronic orbit? What is the radius of electronic orbit? Actually, the doubt session will be after the lecture. Let's discuss first the lecture. All doubts will be sorted out after this lecture. So first let's discuss about the different postulates, concepts, and whatever the problem will be, we'll discuss, we'll sort out after that lecture. So first discuss about the radius. So students, radius of electronic orbit from the nucleus is actually given by Mr. Bose. The formula is Rn equal to A naught into 52.9 picometer. The formula of the radius of any given orbit is Rn equal to, the value is wrong, 52.9. The value is wrong. This is the formula. Rn equal to A naught into n square. Actually, A naught has the value of 52.9 picometer. So radius of any orbit will be Rn. Rn means the radius of first orbit. So n will be first. Second orbit, n will be 2. Third orbit, n will be 3. So we can calculate the radius of different orbits from the nucleus. A naught is actually a constant value, which is called a Bohr's radius, and having a value equal to 52.9 picometer. 52.9 picometer. Class, this is the exact value. 52.9 picometer. It will be in an angstrom. It can be converted into the angstrom. So in angstrom, the same value in angstrom will be 0.529. 0.529. So sometime in given books, they are given in the terms of angstrom, and actually I am written here in the terms of picometer. Picometer means 10 to the power minus 12. Angstrom means 10 to the power minus 10. The difference is the minus 2. So radius of any given particular orbit is 52.9 picometer into n square, where n is a number of orbits, integral value of number of orbits. For hydrogen-like species, this is for only hydrogen. For hydrogen-like species, just you have to be put here. For hydrogen-like species, you have to put here Z. Z is all called atomic number. So radius of any given orbit for hydrogen-like species will be 52.9 into n square upon Z in picometer. You can convert into angstrom depending upon the question they are asking in the your book. So 52.9 into n square upon Z, that is called radius. so we are able to calculate the value of radius from the orbit. We are able to calculate the value of energy from the orbit of any given orbit for hydrogen or hydrogen-like species. We are able to give answer what will be the value. And now the time is to convert different energy value. Actually, for that I have to make here one spectrum of hydrogen. So let's discuss about that. Let's discuss about the hydrogen spectrum. Students, actually course also relate all the formula with hydrogen spectrum. So class, actually the hydrogen spectrum is based on the radiation. The different frequency radiations are emitted when electrons jump from the higher level to the lower level. You are knowing when electron jump from the higher to the lower, means called from excited level to the ground level or lower excited level, the energy is emitted in the form of electromagnetic radiation, which can be passed through the prism and take a spectrum on the screen of the different radiations. So for hydrogen-like atom or hydrogen atom, the spectrum is formed, that is called, look, the possibility, there are infinite orbits. There are infinite orbits around the nucleus, but we are taking only some of the orbits which are practically possible. So I'm taking here 7 different levels, and let's discuss about the series of spectrum observed by different scientists based on Bohr's atomic model for hydrogen atom, that is called when electron jump from the any level, to the first level. That will call the first series. There are some of the possibilities. To formation of the different series of the spectrum. This is called one of the series. Look at the possibility. Electron jump from any orbit to the first orbit. Electron jump from any orbit to the second orbit. Electron jump from any orbit to the third, to the fourth, to the fifth. There are at least 5 series are actually observed by different scientists called Lyman series. The first one is called Lyman. The first series is called actually Lyman. Fast chain. This is called different series. The name are Lyman series. Lyman series, the ground level is fixed called N1 value, that is a first. For all the type of different series, the one of the orbit is fixed, that is called a ground level. That is called a ground level. When the electron, the radiation comes from the any level to the first level, that is called Lyman series. And because of the large energy gap, the wavelength of this type of radiation lie in the ultraviolet region. Ultraviolet region. Balmer series, the electron can jump from any level to the second. N1 value is second here. N1 value second, and the wavelength of radiation emitted lie in the range of visible. This is called Paschen bracket fund. These set of series actually lie in the same range, that is called IR range, and in which this is called near IR and this is called far IR. All these three lie in the same range, near IR and far IR. Near IR means lower wavelength of IR radiation. Far IR means higher wavelength of IR radiation. These three sets fall in the IR range of the radiation. This is visible range Balmer. This is ultraviolet range called Lyman. The first set of series. You have to be notice one thing. The N1 value, N1 and N2. There are two different orbits actually. Electron whenever jump from the one level to the another level, there are always a transition. There are always a transition of the two different levels. That is called higher level to the lower level. Higher level always denoted by N2. Higher level always denoted by N2. Lower level always denoted by N1. But just learn it. For Lyman, Balmer, Paschen, bracket, and fund. Third is called Paschen. P-A-S-C-H-E-N. Paschen. The N1 value is fixed for all them. The N1 value is 1, N1 2, N1 3, N1 4, N1 5. N2 will be different. N2 will be always N1 plus 1 to infinity. N1 plus 1 to infinity. For example, for Lyman series, the N1 value is 1, but N2 can be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to infinity. N2 can be any value. For Balmer, N1 is 2 and N2 will be 3, 4, 5 to infinity. So N1 value will be always fixed. Just take a value of N1 and you can guess what is the series name. This is the name of the series also. This is called hydrogen spectrum. The radiation emitted from the hydrogen atom fall on the different wavelength, ultraviolet wavelength, visible wavelength, and these three are called IR wavelength. And these are actually name of the scientists who observed the different radiations emitted by the hydrogen atom when illuminated the hydrogen gas, and the radiation is examined by the spectroscopy. We'll discuss more about this topic. How we can solve the wave number value or wavelength value? How we can? So value is, look at the formula. The formula is 1 by lambda equal to R 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. This is called Rydberg constant. This is called Rydberg constant, and value of Rydberg constant is 109. Value of Rydberg constant in the terms of centimeter inverse. Rydberg constant has two different values in the terms of energy value and the terms of wave number value. This is called wave number value. The Rydberg constant, the value is 109,677 centimeter inverse. N1 and N2 is the excited state and ground state. For Lyman, N1 will be 1 and N2 can be any one value from 2 to infinity. So you can calculate the value of lambda, means wavelength of the radiation. If you wish, then convert this lambda into frequency. You are knowing the formula. Frequency equal to C by lambda. You can convert into the wave number. 1 by lambda equal to wave number. 1 by lambda equal to wave number. So this is the formula for the hydrogen spectrum only. You can guess the wave number, lambda value, wavelength or frequency value just depending upon the N1 and N2 value. This is all about the hydrogen spectrum and hydrogen atomic model for Bohr's model. Bohr's atomic model for hydrogen atom. And if there will be the requirement of any discussion or numerical, we'll discuss it in the next lecture. In next upcoming lecture, we'll discuss about some numericals based on this Bohr's model and this Rydberg constant value. Okay, so I'm concluding my lecture here only. We'll discuss some doubts.